because it was wiping out entire genetically modified people and polluted genetic strains of animals. The real history of the civilization of the people of this planet has been hidden from you. The real attackers aren't from here, and the usurpers are now among us. And I'm not being funny when I say that they live, and that's the name of a movie that actually talks about this, because they really do live among us. We even have a man, whether you believe that he was God or not, telling us that. His name was it was about a man who walked on this planet. His name in English is Jesus, but if you want to give his Hebrew name, Yeshua. If you want his Greek name, it's different. But you know who I'm talking about. And if you want other than biblical record, go to the Roman record of his trial. He's identified. Yes, he really existed. There's something really important, though, once that he said. He pointed to the religious leaders that had gotten infiltrated in the nation of Israel, and he pointed his finger right at them. And he said, and they questioned who his daddy was. And they claimed that his daddy was their daddy. And he said, no, my daddy's not your daddy. Your daddy is an Anunnaki. Your daddy was a fallen angel. And that's who your daddy is. And I didn't come here for you. I came here for the people that weren't from you, them. The ones whose daddy is not from a fallen angel. And folks, I'm going to tell you, this is a real life story, and this is true. And where all the false doctrine of the Catholic Church takes all these mythological Greek gods and statues of these Nephilim, half human, half not, into their church, is because they were infiltrated. It's because everybody's religion has been either reduced to insane, good-for-nothing teachings that have no truth in order to keep you deluded and ill-informed about who they are. I'm sorry, but we have to do something, and we have to continue to move forward with our army of principles. The army of principles is to move forward with deliberate intention to remove codes and laws of the Anunnaki and the Nephilim, and to replace it with sovereign, monarchical, land, organic, heartfelt principles that lets us live by principles of the heart. Why is it so difficult for them to be that way? It's because they don't have a heart that can follow principles. That spirit is not present in them. And so they can't live by the heart. They literally have to have written codes to live by. And what they are allowed to do is figured out by the loophole, because they can't be guided by a principle. It's not possible. And so they so passionately seek to take upon them the ability to do that. They have moved forward with a genetic plan to try and make that possible. In the meantime, their compulsive behavior, because there is no spirit of the heart, compels them obsessively for more law and more code and more code and more code, which is actually a nemesis to the spirit that's in you, the spirit that's in our heart, that teaches us the principle of just merely treating others like we'd want to be treated. Now, we do know that we can take those that are from this planet, they can turn into some real jerks, but they know better, but they don't choose wisely, so they must be dealt with. And of course, there are people that get chemically imbalanced too, not by their fault, by no fault of their own. Those must be dealt with also. But by and large, it's not the nature of our species to be destructive. It is, however, the nature of that species, that ET, that reptilian, absolute, diabolical, pathological brain, genetically to be destructive. They can't help it. We must get it stopped. So we're appealing to what drives us as a principle and saying we are going to try to resolve this peacefully. But right now, diabolically, they control Congress, they control the Senate, they control the courts, they control the ballot box. When you vote, it gets changed. And they control every active action and pathway for redress of grievance. So the people have to start their own as an organic process and bring about a resolution that, if it doesn't work, is going to result in a big prayer meeting. You know what they're going to be praying? God help us. Because they'll have to pick up the gun. Now, folks, the gun always kills innocent people. Always. Okay. Got a half hour left, Hans, and I'd like to give some folks some more music, and I'll be right back with them. And, let's take those 2010 predictions and put them up on ArgusoogRadio and let people see what we've got coming. In the meantime, let's listen to a very appropriate title called Tomorrow by Alexander Blue. And we'll be right back.